guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the next episode on how to custom paint a bonnet. I've took the bonnet off my car and it was quite funny taking it off. There was a few people walking by going, oh, what's happened to your car, have you smashed it up? And I just went, no, I'm just doing a bonnet artwork change. So they're eager to see what's going on. The neighbours do like the stuff that I do and they do come out and always comment on the car and stuff when I'm doing different things. So the bonnet is off. This was the previous artwork that was on the bonnet. So we've got the Iwata W400 with the skull. Then you've got your drop shadowed hose that comes out from the regulator around there, goes round and then clips into my logo here. You've got little brakes in the hose, so it's pushing out air. So it was a good bit of artwork at the time. This is about 2 years, probably nearly 3 years old now. I had this artwork on here, and the bonnet has took a bit of a beating. There is a few little chips, very light. They've not gone, I thought they'd gone further in, but they've not. They're just like little tiny little chips. We'll get away with just sanding this back and knocking them back out of the clear coat. But the main reason was when I painted the car in the booth that is on the channel, I got the grey paint code that I used from the can of this. They mixed it, I got it, painted the car, and then when I debagged, because I was keeping this artwork, when I debagged it, it didn't match up between the two joins on the wing to there. Now I've got the grey that I painted the car in, so I can now do the grey up. We're going to be basically grey in sort of this area here and round here, so I've got enough grey to blow in round here, round the main artwork. We can get away with it and it'll just tie in with the wings. Plus it will freshen it up for next year. A nice fresh piece of artwork which will look better than this piece. So the first stages to do on this is literally I've just took it off and wiped the rain off it as it's come in. I'm going to clean this down, thorough clean down in panel white, go around all this inner lip here, scrub all this all over, give it a really good clean down, and then we can start sanding it down. I'm going to hit it with 320 on the DA sander with a interface pad on and just buzz over the top 320, and then I'm going to go 500, knock it all back in 500, finish it off, clean it all down, and then we can hang it up. And the next stage on today's video is sort of sizing the artwork up. I can't go putting any base coats down yet until I know exactly, because we've got a breakthrough in the artwork here. I need to size the artwork up, application tape, just project an outline, cut it out, and then when we start to base coat I can bring the base coats in, because it's going to be grey base coat, it'll be white base coat, a black base coat, then a flip base coat round on top of there. So it's like multi base coats to go down, but I've just got to get the artwork sized up so I know where I'm going. So enjoy the time lapse. We'll get this prepped up, then I'll get it hung on here, and then I'll take you through some of the stages and you'll see the artwork sort of projected up. We'll have a look and see how it's going. See you in a bit. I went over with the 320, cleaned it down in that time lapse, 320 all over, knocked it right back hard with the 320 as well, really pushed in with that and really just knocked it back, and then finished off in a 5. We've got some little tiny little chips in here, so I'm going to get a little bit of dolphin glaze. I've got the compressor, I'm just going to blow these bits out right up close, blow any dust out that's in these. Little bit of dolphin glaze, just nib over the tops of these these stone chips, flat that down, and we'll be good to go for sticking it on the easel and then projecting the artwork up. That would be a good enough base to go off. Not a problem at all. That should come out really nice. Everything else is nice and straight on it. Just these little bits here. Just a little bit of dolphin glaze in them chips. And we should be good to go. This did have on these bonnets, they have like the Skoda badge here. And I debadged this when I first painted it and flattered it off, because they don't usually come with a flatted front. They usually got a scallop in there, so that's all been done previous. Just makes it look a lot cleaner and smoother on the front. But everything else is okay. It's took a beating, but it's held up all right, considering these bonnets are quite slopey at the front. And I've done a few miles in the car, like motorway and stuff. You're going to get stones and things flipping up, but it's lasted well. The clear coat that was on it, I think this was the Roberlo Chronox on this, 610. The UHS clear coat I put on this. So it's a good clear coat. So it's a nice surface to go off now. So I'll get the dolphin glaze in them, just nib them out. I won't put that on camera, I'll just put a little bit of dolphin glaze in, flat them off, and that's the stone chips taken care of. And then we'll get it hooked up on here, sorted out, and we'll look at some artwork. I'll see you in the next step. Right guys, we are moving on to the next stage. I didn't put it in a time lapse, but all I've done is dolphin glazed 4 stone chips. That was all that was on the bonnet, was 4 little stone chips down the front. So a little bit of dolphin glaze, let that go off, then flattened it with a block over the top, and then just buzzed over with the DA again with the 500 disc just to finish it off. So they're all in there. So the little tiny white dots there is the dolphin glaze on them 4 pieces here. So we've mounted the bonnet up on meat hooks on the top holes of each side, so the actual bonnet is sitting level. I want this to be straight, so when we project the artwork up, we can size it up. We can then get it all sort of level and centered to the center. Now the first thing we need to do is cover this center section here in the application tape and run that down, and then we can project the image up, pull the projector back and just see how big I can get this image in this top and bottom part of the bonnet, just in here, size it up. And this will go down, because I've got all the artwork with the spray guns on and things like that. That will be the correct size then as it's blown up. I really wanted to do the actual spray guns, the full sizes, but it all goes on how it blows up and what it looks like when it's projected up, because we've not got a lot of room here. You've probably only got about 600 of artwork space coming in there, and we've got a bit here to do. I've got to get my logo in, I've got to do a cutaway pocket for Facebook, Instagram and things like that, but we'll fathom that out as we go along. So application tape, just basically nice and simple. Peel a load off like that, and we're just going to central that to the middle. Grab a squeegee and just lightly squeegee that down. So that's the application tape on. Just scalpel that bit off at the bottom. And what we can do now is we can project up. You'll see the image. I just want basically the centre image. The spray guns at the minute will sit a bit further out. I'm not worried about that as long as I get this first centre piece where she is on the actual bonnet here and the actual cutaways where the paint's breaking away. Get that penciled out and then we can lightly go over, chop it, put that in place, and I can sort the guns out and put some more application tape on, and we'll just add these pieces, pencil them out, and then take the application tape off and then save it and put it to one side for masks and shields and things like that. So we'll get the artwork projected up. You'll see it'll be flickering a bit on the camera, but you'll see the image go up on the middle of the bonnet. We've got the artwork projected up, as you can see there. Now that is as big as I can get it blown up to the bonnet because we've got the break here. That's coming in about 10mm to the top of the bonnet, and we've got the bottom piece here. So that's the size she's going to be. So it's I'd say that's probably about a foot sort of high, just over on the actual portrait piece there. And then we've got the guns coming across here. Now I'm going to pencil line this because I want this piece in first. I'm going to pencil round her on this. Leave these bits, we can size them up later on, and then we'll cut this out, and that will be the first like 2-part layer mask for where we can take the base coats, because this base coat will go grey up to here. It'll be grey, and then I'm going to do a black base coat in this piece here, and then on top of the black base coat is going to be chroma coat round here. And then this will all be 3D as though the paint's breaking away, and then you'll have shattered pieces. As you can see on the artwork, these shattered pieces will sit on top of the chroma coat, so we'll be going back in with grey over the chroma coat, and then shattered pieces coming across. We've got enough room now here and here to do some more breakaways like this. There'll be one here with my logo in, be one twisted down here with the Instagram, and there'll be one down this side with the Facebook, and then the airbrushes will come out of these pockets out here, floating out. So that's what we've got to do. So I'm just going to pencil this in. I was sticking in a time lapse. We'll pencil all these bits out that I need, and then we can start chopping that one out. Right, I'll give you a little talk through. It's looking a bit weird and wonderful at the moment, but I've cut out the shapes that I need. Now, all these excess pieces that I've cut off, I've saved and I've stuck them to the glass door. So the glass door in the studio is covered in application tape. So we've got the outer piece to this one moved over the side. I've got the outer piece to that one, and that one. I've marked these up 1, 2, 3, and I wrote 1, 2, 3 on the outers because the glass door's just covered in application tape. I just don't want to because some of the shapes look sort of similar. It just makes you locate number 2, number 3, and number 1 a little bit easier. So the next stage on this to do in the next episode is drop the base coats down. Now, the first base coat that's going to go down on this will be the grey. Now the grey will cover all this. So this will all be metallic grey. Then the shield that we've just cut off around here, we will place that on top of the grey, peel this inner away, So we've got the internal of this, same with that one, same with that one, and then the same with this one. We'll put the outer one over the centre one here. We'll peel away this piece, leaving her in the centre. And then we're going to go black on that base coat, black on the inside of that one, black on the inside of that one, and then black on the inside of this one. Once that's done, I can drop chroma coat on that one, and that one. I can then drop chroma coat on this one, like that. Then we will have to take this mask out, put this mask back on to shield the chroma coat off, which will leave her in the centre with this original artwork underneath. And then we can drop white base coat for her, peel the masks off, and then we're good to go. We've got the base coats down, and then we can start dropping in artwork and things like that. The spray guns can come on later on. We've got the bits where the snakes on her head come out, so I can just trim these off and I can put the guns in wherever I like. I've got the gun stencils cut, so if I want to move the gun over a bit or move it up here and put an extra long sort of more hose, I can do, and just bring them round. I might bring the DV1S sort of here, where it's on here on the artwork. I might bring it to around here, so they can go on later on. But then there's more and more layers to go on after this, because we've got all the shattered pieces that are coming away from these pieces here. So you'll have the broken pieces of this grey that we're putting on. There'll be fragments of this sitting on top of the chroma coat with drop shadows underneath. So it looks like the paint is all cracked and chipped away here, in here and in here, and some pieces coming over here. And then you will have shattered pieces going over the whole bonnet as well, which will be 3D drop shadowed. So a lot of layers to go, guys, but we've got this part done so far. I'm pleased with how far we've got just in today's episode, getting the bonnet off, getting it prepped, getting them stone chips filled, blew the artwork up, we've sized it all up, I know where I'm going. So the next episode we can start doing some base coats and getting some colour down. So I hope you've enjoyed it on how to custom paint a bonnet so far. We've got loads to do, absolutely loads to do, guys. This is going to be over a week's work on this. So I hope you can join me in the next one. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, press that notification. I will pop up 2 videos now if you want to see a little bit more custom paint work. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.